Redeemer. Hallelujah to the only true and wise King. Triumphant in majesty, omniscient in power, glorious in strength. He's the Yah of all eternity, mighty in every situation. You know what, family? He's even greater than the herbs because he created these herbs. So I just came to tell you all, tune in. This is EMA Barb. Let everyone know that EMA Barb is EMA Barb's Health Corner. We are live and we are well. And I praise y'all for being who he is. I just want to start off with this, that it's blessed be he, Master Eternal, who heals the sick, raises the dead, gives sight to the blind. It's him. It's all about him, the master of all. Hallelujah. You know, before we even start with our herbs, there's something we always pray. And I ask the Father to heal me, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. Hallelujah. And even though we know that these herbs are just growing from the ground, which the earth is still, it's not as it used to be, but we ask the Father to sanctify the herbs, put it back to what it was initiated us to be from the very beginning of time. Father, sanctify it for the consumption of my body and let it be used for what you initiated to be. So we continue to say, blessed be you, Creator Eternal. Thank you for wisdom for every situation and every circumstance. I don't know, today I just had that, this morning when I was preparing for class and everything, all I could do was just worship the Creator, just thank him for who he is and what he's done on our behalf. He's the mighty Yah, able to heal, able to save, able to set free, the incomparable one who's all sufficient in every situation. So hallelujah to the King who reigns supreme. It's all about him. Hallelujah. All about him. You know, I just praise the Father. There was one praise, and it was just hallelujah. My nana used to say this song. She used to, sometimes, you know, older people, remember I told y'all, son Tobias, she passed at 104. And she used to say, hallelujah, anyhow. Never ever let your burdens get you down. Right. When your burdens come your way, just lift your head. And at the time she was Christian, just lift up your hands and say, hallelujah, anyhow. But you know, that was that old Christian, but you know, even though they didn't know better, they still gave praise to the Creator. That's right. In every situation, in every circumstance. So that's what we do today, give him praise and glory. I want you to know I love you. And this morning, did you all put on your whole armor this morning? Did you put on your armor this morning? I did. Put on the helmet of salvation. I put on the helmet of salvation.
Sleep with it.
Come on. Woke up this morning, made sure it was on there right. Put on the helmet of salvation. Put it on the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach for every situation. Family, this is Tuesday. Oh, triumphant Tuesday. Monday, we said make it happen Mondays. But Tuesdays, it's triumphant Tuesdays, where we supersede in every situation that the Father's given. I know you all are looking at this stick. What is it in my hand, in her hand? This is called a miswak stick. Tobias and I were talking about this, and we're going to talk about the herbs of the Bible. But someone had mentioned to me a while back about the teeth. So what do you do, Mima? What do you do with the teeth? I think one of my babies in Ohio. Shout out to my babies in Ohio. I love you. Mwah. This Mima, think you're wonderful. Say right here, think you're wonderful. And I want to praise Yah. One of the classes that Brother Daniel taught on Shabbat was fantabulous. And I wanted you all to go back and make sure it was awesome. So one of the things he touched on was about some of the scriptures that I might be saying during this time. But the class that was right on time. So shout out to my brother Daniel, brother Jacob, brother Levi Raphael, yes, and my son Tobias. Shalom love. Shalom love. Now, families, before I get to my herbs of the Bible, this is one of the herbs too as well, family. This is called a miswak stick. And what they used to do, and I'm gonna bring it up close for you to see.
Zoom in for it. When you bring it up close, it kind of blurs up.
Okay.
I'll zoom in on it.
Okay.
There we go.
This is a miswak stick. It's short. They normally are twice this size, almost 3 times this size. It's a miswak stick. And it came from Sri Lanka. Let me show you what you do. Just don't look at teeth. It's not about my teeth. It's about brush. So you would take it, and they used to use it to brush your teeth. And they would keep teeth clean. It's fibers in it. It's good for the digestive system. It was good for, now, my son Elias learns, he's a good student. I don't care what he learned, he's a good student. And he was telling us that yes, it is good for digestion. And what else, son Elias?
Sore throat, coughs, colds, appetite suppressants, the nicotine suppressant for those who have issues with cigarettes and they're trying to put them down.
Come on.
And they also use it in a lot of cough syrup.
Yes. You make me look good.
EMA said it's called miswak.
Miswak stick.
Miswak stick. They also sell the exact same thing. They call it a licorice root.
A licorice root, yes. And in this, now for those people, now the reason why I decided to come into this, I try not to be real vulgar or anything like that, but I try not to keep it. You know, sometimes the men used to walk around in my dating time, and they would have a stick in their mouth, and they would carry the sticks around. And you say, what is going on with the stick? Maybe chewing on that little stick and keep it on, and they be talking. They take the stick out of their mouth just to talk. And their teeth would be so beautiful and white. It would keep when they would.
It's good for bad breath.
It's good for bad breath. Come on, love.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what Mr. uses it for. And I've been insisting. But anyway, I almost got all the sense. Tell him it's all about this.
It's okay, Martin.
But it's good for the teeth. It keeps the teeth clean. It brightens the teeth. It strengthens the teeth family. Gets rid of cavities. Not only is it good for colds, but it's good for cavities.
Because you can put this in a pot.
Yes.
With some water and boil it and make a tea out of it, and that's where your cold remedy comes.
That's what
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Come on. Exactly. Come on, son Tobias. Exactly. Yes.
It's a little off topic, but since you're on me, Mom, any
Shalom.
remedy for back pain?
Back pain? Yes, love. Okay. Shalom. Not being off topic. You know what? Let me show you something. And I guess the Father knew you were going to be asking those questions. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. And it's right. And then I'm going to finish telling you about this miswak stick. But let me tell you about this real quick. And it's within the A. Remember last week we talked about the letter A in Hebrew. A. I bet y'all say, come on, Imam, come on, answer the question. But this is something to remember. Remember last week we talked about the A, the Hebrew letter A, olive. Remember we spoke about that last time? The letter A, which is olive in Hebrew. But guess what, family? We have this, and like I said, the Father knew that you were going to be asking about that. This is called Arnica. It's a beautiful little flower. You know what? This little flower is so beautiful. I wish I could pull it up. And this is how it's spelled. It's Arnica. And in different countries, they use Arnica as a pain reliever. You can get this from
That's topical. That's for
topical.
Okay.
It's for muscle pain, stiffness, swelling, bruising, all of that. When
I'm sorry, somebody, well, go ahead, I will relate to that.
okay, you can do a topical, but you can also, here's one you can do as a capsule, as they're called pellets. And they're much more stronger. You can do it that way. And there's in Mexico, they grow it really wild. And whenever they're ready for it for pain, they just grab the arnica leaves and they boil them and they prepare them and for pain and stuff like that. Some people soak with them when they have a soreness and things like that, they just take the root. But these are just in where Americans, you can use them. You can just, it's convenient. Take the pellets, but you only don't take any more than 5 at a time. Then let me show you what they're going to look like. A little bit of pellets, and they look like this. And you only want to take 5 at a time.
Too low, you want? Too low. Bring it back up. It's not. Okay.
So you only want to take 5 at a time. And they're called Arnica, and it's pure Arnica. But don't take 5 at a time. At like every hour, you can do 1 for every hour, 5 for every hour. And then until the pain subsides. These are just one thing for pain, for back, lower pain. Now, if are you female or male? And they say that there's any issues or just muscle, I want you to come back and let me know that. Because if it's just muscle, you can use this as a cream.
Well, it says Sade, daughter of Zion.
Sade? Okay. And it's not that time of the month, right?
Isn't saying anything.
Okay. If it's that time of the month, there's certain things you can do for that particular time of the month for back pain. If it's just stress, pulling, there's also something else you could use other than these. If it's that time of the month and you have that pulling in the back, I sent something out, family, Sade, about different things you could use. Like, for example, fennel is good for pain during that time of the month, and it gets rid of the pain. It releases. If it's the back or if it's your liver, there's about a plethora of things you can use. Let me give you another example. If it's pain and it's a pulling in the back, you can use what my favorite is called Boswellia. And let me let you spell it. Let me spell it for you. It's Boswellia, and it's spelled this way. Boswellia. Boswellia. And guess what it is? What we call it. Now, this is the regular name for it, Boswellia.
I'm sorry, not to take you off subject. Did you say what those pills were in?
Yeah, that is Arnica.
Okay.
Arnica is in the capsule form, and it's called Arnica montana. Arnica montana. It's the same as the cream, but it's in pill form.
Just one. Oh.
One is cream, one is in the pill form.
Okay. Somebody was asking what are those pills?
Yeah, one is pill form, the other is cream. It's the same thing.
Right. Okay.
So Boswellia is the same as English. This is the real name of it, Boswellia.
Okay.
But the name that we call it is frankincense.
Oh.
And you know why they call it frankincense? Because when Frank or the French went over to Africa, they said, oh, this is a wonderful incense. They called it incense, of course. And they said, and so they named it that it's the French or the Frank, his name was France, and his incense, that's where they got it from, frankincense. But it's really Boswellia. Now check this out, family. If you call it frankincense, and here I'm about to burst some people's bubble and mess up somebody. I don't sponsor anybody. Don't look at the name or anything like that because I don't sponsor any primary labels. But if you go into the stores and you buy this at a GNC or buy it in a shop or whatever, if you buy it as Boswellia, it's cheaper to say Boswellia and you'll be spending this extra zubered money just for frankincense. But it's the same thing. Yes.
Hello. How long does it take for these remedies to start working?
Depending on your body.
Okay.
Because if you have toxins in your body, it's going to take longer. If you're naturally a healthy person and the pain, and you want these different remedies. Some starts immediately. It depends on how healthy your body is. But I'm sorry to say it that way, family, but it's just,
It is what it is.
it is.
Reality.
It's reality. But the frankincense, let me go back to this. The frankincense, family, is a pain reliever. It could be a pain reliever. It's a resin, and it's a pain reliever. Also, the miswak stick is a pain reliever too, if you believe it or not. If you have a stomach ache or whatever's going on, it deals with parasites and stuff like that, and it deals with as a pain reliever. The more you use it, miswak stick. You can use cloves, and I told you all about cloves. Yes, I put a pinch in there this morning. Just a pinch. It's strong. Mama, I got you the real stuff. We don't get the play stuff. We get the real stuff around here. But the cloves, remember I told y'all what cloves look like and all that? What the cloves look like and stuff. I told you all about, and you all, I have a apothecary. I have an apothecary. I'm sorry, family. But remember I told you all about the cloves, and I told you, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, baby.
The young lady in the chat is asking where can she buy the miswak stick?
Miswak stick, you might be able to, if you're in St. Louis, there's a place called Cool Vibes. And Cool Vibes is in North County on North Lindbergh. He sells them for $1 each.
Yeah,
But
this young lady may be out of state.
Now, if you're out of state, order them. You have to order them.
Right. I would say Amazon. Because I used to order them off Amazon all the time.
Yeah.
I paid $18 for a bag of like 30 of them.
Yeah, which is really good.
And they come long just like this. You can break them up. You can have like maybe 2 or 3 of these out of one stick.
Yes, you can. They're like this.
Yeah,
long.
in California.
Oh, okay, it's California. I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry, baby. But you can order them from Amazon, and Amazon has them, and Tobias is correct. You can do that, and they're long, and you can do. The only reason why I don't walk around with the miswak stick, only at home I do it, where I'm walking around with miswak stick in my mouth, so because nobody can see me there. But otherwise, I walk around with the cloves in my mouth. Sometimes when you all see the whole cloves, I thought I brought some with me, but it's the whole cloves. You can look it up, and you can push down the whole cloves. Listen, check this out. Whole cloves are good for pain, inflammation. It's good because if it gets rid of a toothache, guess what? I used to work in a dental office. Let me say this. Years ago, you all said, Mama, you worked a lot of places when you were coming up. You were, baby, it was called the all-time hustle. Make sure you work.
Right.
And if you work, you get what you want. But if you work, you eat.
That's right.
And so, but anyway, it was we used to work at a dental clinic, and they had something called xylitol, and they would shoot it in the gums to deaden the gums. Also, because it was like more than 1,000 times more powerful than because they would condense it and concentrate the cloves so much that it would be 1,000 times, and they would shoot it into the gums and it would deaden the gums. Well, all it was, and they used a different name, but all it was cloves. Cloves can deaden the gums. It's a pain reliever until you get to where you need to be. And so when you do that, family, you can also, when you get that, it's a pain reliever, but it's also good for the intestine. It helps you lose weight, cloves do. So when you're taking cloves and chewing on those cloves, I'm sorry, Tobias, I should have turned it off. So when you're chewing on those cloves, it helps with the weight. It keeps, especially this time of the year when it's hot outside, when you're chewing it, it helps with your suppressant. It's a suppressant, appetite suppressant. It does all these type of things, and it also helps with pain as well. So when you say pain, different types of pain. Where is it located? And I can tell you where it goes to the fastest. Where the body, even though when you're and you're waiting for it, even though your body, you have not the healthiest, but your body will take it to that point the fastest. It's just like it takes all that, and like if you would imagine a bucket, and this bucket is going through and it's filled with these different herbs that it needs, and it's taking it straight there, and it's at the door and it's knocking, knock, 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 knock. Can I come in? Let's push everything out of the way. Knock, knock, knock. Can I come in? Push everything out of the way. If you don't need me, can I go over here and I'll wait until you're ready? That's what it does. Also, like I said, the frankincense is good. You can chew on the resin or take it as a capsule by sweller. You know what else is good for pain, family? You can take, and believe it or not, here we go, eucalyptus. You can use eucalyptus and take a little bit, don't use it straight, put a little bit on some jojoba oil or castor oil, and you can put a little bit of that in it, do equal, and you can rub it on the pain or the back. Or peppermint, depending on where it is. You can take peppermint oil, your different oils. Take that oil, and it's not evading anything, but it goes straight to it. Take that oil, rub it into that back, and it gets rid of that. Sometimes in the night, family, when Mister's going through a little issues, he has a little pain, which you don't try to tell me, but I find out anyway. You know, wives do that. And take a little bit of oil, rub that baby back down, and as I rub his back down, it smells wonderful, but it helps with the pain. So you can mix a little bit of eucalyptus, a little bit of peppermint if you want, and make sure you don't have it straight. You're gonna use jojoba oil or castor oil, things like that, and you're gonna dilute it. And when you do it, then rub it in, and you got it.
One of the live chat members was asking, could we spell the name of the stick?
Miswak.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I spelled it MISHWAC.
You made me proud. Let me write it down.
Okay. That's right.
It's MISH. Well, how do you spell it?
MISHWACK.
That's right.
Okay.
ACK. But some people spell it from Africa. They spell it with an X. Okay. But we here in America, we spell it with a CK. So you all can look that up. Miswak stick. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like.
Gotcha.
Okay. Not a problem, love. So family, you can use that, and that's good for the teeth. It keeps the teeth clean. It does a plethora of other things for the body. You might want to keep that on hand. If you can order those, keep those on hand. And it's good for the teeth. Good, like we said, it's good for the breath. And then it helps with a lot of the plaque. You don't have a lot of plaque in the mouth. Am I right, son Tobias? You don't have a lot of plaque when you eat. You don't have all that plaque when you wake up in the morning and it's build up and all that kind of thing. And then you use those little in-between parts. And look at that. If you put it down, this is what it looks like. It's gonna put it this purpose. So you'll see how that looks? But it doesn't stain the teeth, so the teeth don't look like that. Right. But it makes, because of the enamel on your teeth, it actually acts as in conjunction with your mouth and with the teeth. So it acts as and you know what, the bristles are gonna look something like this. And then I'm gonna go back on what my family asked me about the pain. It's gonna look something like that. So when you finish, you can go through the teeth and you can just chew on it. You can digest this. Like I said, when it goes to the body, it does phenomenally different things for the body. Family, just something as simple as a stick. See, just a stick. Did I remind you all that the sea lime bark, it's sea lime bark, which is the cinnamon, is what we're drinking now? Mm-hmm. I mean to tell you, I love you. I'm gonna tell you right. But And then, like I said, ladies, if you don't want to use a miswak stick when you're out, because you, like me, don't forget the cloves. Put the cloves in your mouth, and you can chew it and pinch off of it a little bit at a time. And it balances during this heat. It balances your so you don't get overheated. Cholesterol, diabetes, all that. It keeps the blood sugar in balance and right on down. This is what cloves do. Cloves. Remember, we got to the letter C, but we came back because of certain questions the herbs of the Bible. So you all check that out. Check that cloves out. It's phenomenal what it does for you. And let's go on. Now, as far as the pain, there's so many other different types of things, but start right there, family. And I'll put a list. I'll try to remember. But Tobias, don't let me forget to put that a list out for the different herbs, natural. You know, ginger helps with pain, back pain.
Yeah, you were telling me that. Yes, ma'am.
Ginger helps with back pain.
My brother had sciatica real bad, and he started taking that ginger for his sciatica.
See?
Yes, ma'am.
Back pain, it's a thing of the past. If you know, look, your leaves of the field are good for the healing of the nation, all about herbs. They try to play with you. Don't let them play with you. Let it go. Ginger, you can do ginger in the mornings. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'll do ginger tea in the morning, and with a little honey and a little turmeric. Turmeric takes inflammation out. Family, okay, daughter, niece, this is your Mima speaking. In the morning when you get up, if you always have an issue with your back, get up, make a tea. This is what you do. Make sure the water's hot. You can do a powder. If you do the real root of the ginger, if you do the ginger root, what you do, you boil it until it gets to be, let me show you what color it's going to get to be. It's going to be getting this color. It either be this color. This is what color it's going to look like. You're going to grate it in the water. Let it get to be that color, or either this color, like a light yellow, because ginger root is going to turn the water like a light yellow. Now you're going to grate it. Only when you grate it, let it get to that color. And then you're going to take that boiled ginger root. You can only use about this much. Only use that much of the ginger root. Grate it that much into like about if you're just take this part right here. You're only gonna, and your glass pot, use glass pot. Don't use that other stuff. If you can find a glass pot or steel, what is that? A steel pot, a glass or steel. You can use a cast iron pot. I have a cast iron pot, so.
Okay.
But I'll bring it, and I'll try to bring it so you all see what it looks like, family. But if you have a pot this size, just this size, you can boil that water, put it in there and let it boil until the water turns like a light yellow. When it turns about a light yellow, then take that, and I need to turn it down. I'm muted. So when you let it get that color, then take turmeric, about a third of a teaspoon in your cup of water, pour it like you have a cup of water with your ginger and your cup of ginger. Put about a third of a teaspoon of turmeric in it. Put squeeze a lemon in there to taste, and put some, sweeten it to taste. You can use honey or any type of sweetener that you, healthy sweetener that you desire. Agave, you can use that. Organic blue agave, you can use that. And sweeten it to taste. When you drink that, baby, what happens is in the morning, it goes through your whole body, and it's going to take care of that pain. It's going to take care of that inflammation in the morning. When you first get up, you drink a glass of that in the morning, like a cup while you're praying, meditating on the word. Drink your ginger, turmeric in the morning before you go to bed. And I'm telling you, it really works. Before you go, because I give it to Mr. when he has back pains and stuff. He gets massages. He talking about he don't want no massages and stuff. I'm telling his stuff. But anyway, massage that baby boy. But anyway, don't tell too much. Okay. Besides those knees, that back, that feet. Anyway, telling too much. Okay, family. But in the night before you go to bed, do the same thing. So at night, if you know you're prone to have a back pain, what you do is take almond milk, not that silk stuff. Make sure it's just almond milk. Take the almond milk when it's real, it's gonna be kind of what you call heavy, like a heavy type of milk. Do the almond milk, pure almond milk, heat it up. Once it's warm enough that you can drink it, put in your turmeric, your ginger, your cinnamon, 1/3 teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit like a third teaspoon of turmeric, and a 1/3 teaspoon of ginger. Now, if that's too strong, you can make it a little less. And before you go to bed, it's going to not only help you sleep, but it's going to get rid of the inflammation and the pain out of your body. How about that? That's something real simple and easy. It goes all through the body. So when you get up, you feel like a new person. And then when you get up in the morning, you go back and drink that tea that we said with just the distilled water. Now make sure you're drinking the distilled water, because this distilled water pushes all those toxins out and helps with the inflammation in the body, and it gets rid of the pain. And if it persists, you could take some Arnica with you, some of those Arnica pellets with you, or do this. When you get up at night, before you go to bed, you can take that eucalyptus, peppermint, and do that little rub on the back as you drink on that milk with the turmeric and ginger, and at night before you go to bed. It gets rid of the inflammation, and it helps really wonderful. And plus, you know what, when you do that, family, you get up so good in the morning, and you just feel so good. You smell good and you feel good. Peppermint, always. I love peppermint and eucalyptus, always. It's just wonderful for me. I love it. And I even put it in my hair. Did you know rosemary, you can put rosemary into, did you know rosemary helps the hair grow, family? Rosemary, eucalyptus. Oh, no, you don't. You're perfect. You're perfect. You're the best. Thank you. Put a little rosemary on your hair, and you smell really good. And then you can rub some of that rosemary in your joints, but make sure it's diluted. Don't put straight essential oils on your body, because it's so potent. It goes straight to where you need it to, but it's so potent, so your body needs time to acclimate to it. So you don't put it there all of a sudden. So you don't want to shock your body, even if you're not eating healthy. You want to slowly integrate it in. Yes, so you want to do it that way. But and then if you do the family, if you're doing the frankincense, you could just put it in your mouth, just the resin. Now, initially, it's going to taste like, oh, what is this? Emo got me. But guess what? It works. It really, really works. Pain be gone. That's what we like. Pain be gone. And that's some of the things that the Father did. There's about 20, 30 different things that you can do in your medicine cabinet that works on pain. Did you know that? It's 20 or 30. If you have, now, I love apothecaries. What I mean by apothecaries, there are different herbs and spices, like cinnamon will help with pain.
But you're talking about sea lime.
Sea lime, but it has to be that sea lime, right, because it helps with the pain. It gets rid of the pain in the body. How about that? And plus, it gives energy too. Oh. So that the miswak gives you
like when I put
energy.
On Amazon, it says if you have high blood pressure, don't overdo.
Don't overdo. If you have family, remember I told you all, you cannot overdo anything.
Right.
Please don't overdo. You know, I used to go gun ho. It's a little bit at a time. Allow the body to acclimate, because you didn't get to there overnight.
Right.
So because you didn't get to that point overnight, you're not gonna jump into it, because your body has to. It's like, remember, small process. Remember I told you the little cells that go through, they come with a little bucket with what you need on the inside. When you take that miswak stick, it's like a little bucket, all those little minerals that go in there, and they said, can I help you? Knock, knock, knock. Can I help you? Well, until you're ready, I'm giving you a little bit of something now, and I'll be on this side. When you're ready for it, just open the door and I'll use it. We love you. That's what you want to do. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to, you know what? Because What time we got? Son Tobias, what time we got?
1:33. We about 30 minutes.
Okay, now, family, there was something I really wanted to, oh, you know what you can also use, let me tell you this, and since we're on pain, you can use the bay leaves. Bay leaves, if you burn it in the room, it gets rid of anxiety, but it also relaxes the muscles. So when you go, you know what? And I've done this before. I have done when Mr. was really, and I've given him, and I use him as my
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna, okay, I won't say it. I won't say it. I rub that brother down with his little peppermint, eucalyptus, a little rosemary on that back, all the way down. I've given him that tea. Also, you can drink, it's called wild tart cherry. And that takes inflammation around. Now, family, if you're in California, you all know that that wild tart cherry, it takes inflammation out of the body. And it also gets rid of the pain. So where there's no inflammation, there's no pain. So it helps with pain and it gets rid of tart cherry. Like I was about to say, and sometimes I'll switch it off. I'll give him one day, I'll give him wild tart cherry tea. And then the other day I'll give him the turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon in the milk. And I'll just go back and forth to keep him moving. And almond milk. And if you're going to do this, and this is not, let me say this to you, Emma's not into any animal products. So that's why we want to make sure we do almond milk. You can burn, listen to this, because of the electrical parts of it. You could take the bay leaf, and here I go, burn the bay leaf in the room. And my baby, holler back out to my baby in Ohio. She tried this with me, and she burnt it, the bay leaves, and it took the pain away. She burnt it and let it sit in the room, and it literally took the pain out of her body as the bay fragrance of the bay leaves, it activates and molecules. Now I'm not going to go through all that, but we'll do that another time. But the molecules acted into the room, and it took some of the pain and stress and anxiety, not just in the room and mentally, but it took it out of the body too. Those are just some things that bay leaves can do. You can also drink it, and it helps with pain as well. So those are just a few little things that you can help with pain, love. And then if you're going through that particular month and you say that I have that extra pain in the back, that's that pressure that's pulling. Red clover, we grow red clover. I'm going to bring you some and make some red clover tea. Red clover, excellent. And we're going to talk about that at one time, about how red clover helps with pain and different other stuff, diabetes and arthritis and high blood pressure, right on down the line. We're going to talk about that. But so the red clover is good for women during that time of the month because it relieves some of the pain and some of the stress and actually, you know what it is? An estrogen. It helps with the estrogen and progesterone. And it helps with, so that's one of the things with women when we were talking about, and we sent this information out. I know I'm talking fast, but we're not going to be here too long. About when we were talking about the ancient women's garden parties. We sent that out. Well, the women would walk through, and what made me think about that was on the side of the road, Brother Tobias, I saw red clover. And I was like, on the highway, you could see red clover in certain areas of the highway, and before they mow the lawn and all that. And it grows just out, and people don't know what it is. Right. So they don't. So amazing. Yeah, red clover, and it grows out wild. But I wouldn't get it from the side of the highway because of all the toxins and stuff like that from the trucks and stuff like that. But you can grow your own red clover, and you could use it as sprouts. Now, family, here we go with the sprouts again. I know I love this kind of stuff. So, but anyway, you can sprout it, and the sprouts, you can eat it in your salad. You have bean sprouts, you have different sprouts. If you go to the store, you'll see they have in this little package about this size, they have different sprouts you can buy. So I used to get the sprouts, and I was like, wait a minute, I can do my own sprout, Brussels sprouts. Have you ever seen one of those packets that have Oh, baby, that brain be kicking it. I love Brussels sprouts.
Can't get my son to look as much as I do.
See, ooh, that Brussels sprouts is like, oh, electricity straight to the brain. Wonderful. I love it. But anyway, I love it for what it does. Woo! I love Brussels sprouts.
I didn't know that they had that health benefit.
Oh,
I've been enjoying them all this time. It's been a while since I've had some.
Yeah.
But I love Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts is what you call my friend. They have A in it. Oh, family, vitamin A helps with energy as well. Remember, I was telling, look at that Hebrew letter A.
Mm-hmm.
That Hebrew letter A. That vitamin A does phenomenal for the body. Not only does it, remember we were talking about how it helps with the eyes and all that kind of thing, but it puts electricity into the body, which helps with healing. Do you know a vitamin A, your different vitamins, your different herbs have vitamin A in it. Brussels sprouts has vitamin A in it, by the way, too. It also has B complexes in it, stuff like that. But anyway, that's beside what I was going to say. But you could take that vitamin A, which has all these different herbs in it. Different herbs have vitamin A in it, but it's not only good for the eyes, but guess what? That vitamin A keeps you from anti-aging. They use vitamin A for anti-aging. Vitamin A, I'm trying to tell y'all, eyes, oh man, and a lot of other things. But they use it in serums to help in serums, S-E-R-U-M, you know, my serums. And it helps with anti-aging. It is fantabulous. I love it. Are you using my homemade oils on your skin?
No.
Uh-huh. It's all right. I still love you. I still love you.
I saw a little ad told me.
Uh-huh.
I ain't got none of these, Mom. You ain't gonna get.
I
You
did
get
give
some
you.
peppermint.
I gave you some oil. Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll talk about that. And so I was like, what? And I was reading and I was like, I use A. I give you. That's what makes us stay young, that vitamin A. And don't forget, family, when you go to the outside, there's a certain time, it's called Greenwich time. Greenwich time, people think that if you're in the sun all the time, you get the benefits. It's not true. And I don't know why I've gotten, you all know,
So you don't get vitamin D from being out in the sun?
not all the time. There's certain times of the day where the sun gives you more vitamin D than others.
Would that be noon when sun's at its highest or hottest?
And you know what? This is the deal. I want you to go in and look up Greenwich time, family. When you look up Greenwich time, the naval, Greenwich time. Greenwich time. And what it does, the Navy people go by Greenwich time. And it's Greenwich time is like when the sun is the most beneficial.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When the sun, well, not necessarily the hottest,
Okay.
but when it's its most beneficial time. You all got all this? I hope y'all did.
If they did, they would want to be.
Okay. It's Greenwich, Greenich, I think, Greenwich. You all check that out and just put in time, Greenwich time. The Google will automatically correct it for you. If not, it's the Greenwich time. And what they did, and there's a certain clock in the Greenwich time, and this is how they worked on. So when they begin to set the clocks, they use certain Greenwich time, and you all look that up and then go with that. It's the Greenwich. You all, you know I can't hardly talk English, but we good. Y'all got me. But look that up, Greenwich time, and it tells you a certain amount. Some start at 10 a.m. where you get the benefit of the vitamin D or D3 or D, where you get the benefit, the most benefit of your vitamin D. A certain time, so it's not just when it's hottest, it's when you get the most benefit. Because you can be in the sun and the sun will just burn, but the time for the most advantageous time where you get more vitamin D is according to the Greenwich time. The Navy used it to heal. Actually, do you know the Navy uses it? The Navy uses it for healing within themselves. The Naval Reserve and the Navy used it for healing and certain things. They did a lot of research. You know, I covered out all that research and stuff like that. So they used it and they found out that the best time, but it depends on where you live in the United States, as well as the, you know, like if you look at a certain point and base, give an example, latitude and longitude. So they would use the latitude and longitude. You can find anybody because it's the latitude, and longitude. So they can pinpoint, if you ask, what is the latitude and the longitude of the city where you live? They can tell you exactly where you live and how, according to the Greenwich time, where you get the best vitamin D where you are. Some say, I'm sorry, family, I cleaned my sinuses before we came, and so I'm getting that. I like to clean my sinuses, you all know that, but I cleaned it late this morning, so I still got that drainage. But you can pinpoint it anytime, and when you do that, you can tell the best time when it is you get the best vitamin D in your body, for your body, and how long you can stay out there. If you get the best time with that, it'll give you, it'll expedite basically having to be out there all day. Some people think that they can be out there all day, you know, and it gives you, but it's certain times of the day, and it's awesome where you can do that. But anyway, but like I said, don't look at it's called Greenwich time. If you put the Greenwich time, it'll come up where you need to be, and put in latitude and longitude where you live, and it'll tell you exactly the time, and it'll give you a whole list of what times during the day you can get the best sun and how it benefits the body more. Yeah. So, yes.
I can wait till you finish.
Go ahead.
Okay. Somebody was just asking, what makes up your homemade oil?
Homemade oil. You all want me to tell my secrets. Y'all be in
This is the secret, so you might as well tell.
Y'all want my secrets. I use pure beeswax when I mix my oils in. So you want the pure beeswax, and then when you add in your different oils, you have to research to what type of oil will benefit for your body. Such as when you're using these, like I use a particular oil, and I have this particular mix of oils that I use that just is for, it's not oiling, but it keeps moisture in the skin. And when it does with the moisture in the skin, it keeps moist without being greasy. Like Mr. says, it's greasy or different greasy. So it keeps it from being greasy, but you have the oil, but you have the moisture. And one of the key things is the beeswax. But it has to be pure beeswax. And I mix in a little called cocoma oil. And you can use a little shea oil, but when you heat up this oil to mix it all in, you can't put it all in one time. You can't let it boil. You have to let it see a certain temperature, and then you can beat it and whip it, and then you set it in the refrigerator, and it'll condense, and it'll set, and then you can use it all the time. But I basically use curcuma, or I'll use different spices like that'll help the body. Next time I know Brother Tobias is going to help me remember to do a little class for you on how to make different oils. I'll try not to forget. See, I didn't forget the miswak stick. See, told you, for your teeth, or the clove oil or the cloves for your teeth, or anything. So I won't forget that either. I love you too much. Thank you for the questions, and thank you, family, for the questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So also, don't forget your what is it? The cayenne pepper is good for pain. And also, family, your vinegar. The Bragg's apple cider vinegar is good for pain. It really is. You can use apple cider vinegar for pain because it acts as an it's automatically antihistamine, so it goes straight to the body. But now you have to make sure you're eating healthy, family. And when you're eating healthy, then when those pains come, you can easily it goes straight to the body without any obstructions. So to go there. When you drink your apple cider vinegar, you can do apple cider vinegar, your cayenne pepper, and your honey. That helps with pain as well. It helps with pain because it's anti-inflammatory. Cayenne pepper is anti-inflammatory. Believe it or not, there's a little concoction that I do sometimes with onion. Onion will take care of pain too, family. You know, you can take a slice of onion and you can put it underneath your feet. Not only does it detox, but you use the red onion. Make sure it's not that.
Not a white or yellow onion.
You can use the red onion. And remember, I told you all earlier that you can use it and it pulls the toxins out of the room when you're having. Remember, I was telling you guys that when you can pull it out, toxin pull it out of the room. Yes.
One of the commenters in the chat room said I tried apple cider vinegar. It made my stomach hurt. I think I was taking too much.
Yes. Only a capful. I'm gonna tell you all the story. I told my son, you know, our son is in his 40s. And he was like, Mom, I heard you talk about, I said, baby, you used to do vinegar with it. He said, I forgot. You know how the children go away to college and they forget everything. Mm-hmm. And so he said, I forgot. So he said, so I went to do the apple cider vinegar. He said, and I just drank it. He said, and it took my breath away. He said, Mom, my stomach and all this. I said, don't take a cup full. You only want to do maybe a capful, a teaspoon. What'd she say?
The brother said, oh, okay. I was taking a shot glass.
Oh,
way too much.
Way too much, love. Way too much.
A little bit goes a long way.
A little bit goes a long way.
Yes, ma'am.
So what you can do when you get up in the morning, you do your vinegar, apple cider vinegar, your cayenne pepper, and your honey. Sometimes what I'll do, family, during the day, I just take apple cider vinegar and I'll take like a grapefruit, because I love grapefruit. Take some grapefruit and I'll squeeze it and mix it in with a little honey. And during the day, I would drink a little bit of that, just sip on it a little bit at a time, mix it in so it's sweet. It takes care of the pain. So there are different things that you can do but don't overdo it. Just do a little bit at a time. You know, they used to talk about build up.
Your body with a bad diet, so you gradually have to introduce things to the body to better that situation.
Exactly.
You can't just take a bunch of outside vinegar to try to correct the issue. It takes time. It takes time, family. You know what? I used to do a tablespoon or a capful. I do a tablespoon. I used to do a tablespoon. And you could take a tablespoon, family. Check this out. Take a tablespoon. Put it in your water in a glass. I normally have like one of these little high stem glasses, and put that apple cider vinegar in like a tablespoon in there. Put like a little squeeze half a grapefruit in there, and the juice, and mix it with honey. If you want to, take a little bit of water, maybe about a third of that glass of water, and mix it in and sip on it during the day for pain. And you'll notice before you know it, the pain is gone because of all the anti-inflammatories and how it helps the pain. Those things are just certain things that really just work. Those are homemade remedies that you could do, that we know that you have in your pantry. Since we're talking about pantry, family, make sure you have cinnamon, clove, things like that, ginger in your pantry. Make sure you have vanilla extract. These are just a few things in your pantry that you want to make sure you have. Garlic. Oh, garlic is good for pain too, family. Garlic is real good for pain. You could do that and get rid of the pain, the garlic in the garlic would just great. As a matter of fact, I have it with Mr. in the morning. Here we go again. Sometimes we'll take garlic. He chops his up. He takes 2. He tried to get away with 1, y'all, but holla, holla, 2. Take 2 cloves he takes 2 cloves of garlic, chop it up, and he takes it like a peel. Not only is garlic good for the digestion, it's good for the body. It goes through and heals and gets rid of pain and all that. But it's good for the body. It's good for the whole system. But the garlic is just like onion, and it'll go through the body. And you could take that garlic, he chops this up and throw it like back up at a peel. But I take garlic and I put like a little cayenne pepper in it. I take 2, put it in garlic press and put a little 1/3 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper in there, and then put a little lemon, squeeze a lemon, and chase it with lemon water, and goes down. Now, first, like I said before, when you first do it, it's going to say, oh, you're so, oh, no, I can't do that. But guess what? No pain. And plus, it's good for the body. Oh, it heals the body, does some wonderful things for the muscles. You want to do that. But anyway, you had that next question for me.
Let me see. Let me scroll back up.
Okay. And while he's looking, there's so many different things you could do for pain. Family is good for that. But anyway, yes.
So what should you mix the cayenne pepper with to get the max benefits?
You can do straight cayenne pepper. Whatever you put cayenne pepper to, you get a maximum. A teaspoon, not a teaspoon, but 1/3 of a teaspoon, family. Don't overdo it. 1/3 of a teaspoon, like I said, what I do in the morning, because I'm so used to it, I do a 1/2 teaspoon. That's just me. But just start off with 1/3 of a teaspoon, mix in with the garlic, the minced garlic, and then you can put like your lemon, squeeze a 1/2 lemon in there, and it helps with pain. It gets rid of a lot of flap on the tummy too, family. I'm not saying I'm the best in
See, that's what I just knew about the apple cider vinegar for as far as weight loss. I didn't know it had those other benefits.
Oh, it's wonderful. It helps with the hair. It cleanses the body. Someone asked me a question about apple cider, their skin. From time to time, I'll take apple cider vinegar and I'll just put a little on my towel and just rub in a little bit. Don't do it a whole hard, but you're gonna get rid of the waste that when you go from outside to inside and you have those things on your skin. Just take a little apple cider vinegar. It acts like alcohol, but you're cleansing it much healthier, and you're getting rid of all those toxins, and it helps with acne, eczema. This is apple cider vinegar. You can put a little apple cider vinegar in your bath water, and it gets rid of pain but if you use it in your bath water, use like a 1/2 cup or something like that, a 1/2 cup or 1/3 of a cup, and with a little Epsom salt and a little baking soda, you're alkaline, because what you really want to do is alkaline the body so the pain will leave. When you're alkalining the body, your pain, you don't have the pain because the alkalining.
So what are some good alkaline foods?
Alkaline food. Guess what? Parsley.
Parsley, one of your favorite.
One of my favorite. What about parsley and cilantro? Alkaline. We like that. Lemon is the best alkaline you can get. You can put a little lemon in your water and alkaline it automatically.
Put lemon in distilled water.
Exactly.
Put lemon in regular water, it's going to be still highly acidic.
Exactly. You make me proud. Thank you for telling me. I just automatically think they automatically know it's distilled water, but thank you.
You got to constantly remind you, like when you say cinnamon, it makes you, when you eat a sea lion off, you think you just grab that cinnamon off the top of it.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because when you listen, I found this out years ago. When I used some cinnamon right off the shelf, you notice all that slime, if you let it sit for a little while, you notice at the bottom there's a slime that develops and it's real slimy. And I was like, what in the world is this? And this is what I found out years ago. But when I began to use the sea lion, it does not have all that. It's just a pure sea lion. It's that slime reminded me of something like sawdust. You know, when sawdust is like developed. But anyway, go ahead.
One of the sisters in the chat is asking, isn't lemon a hybrid?
Lemon is, you know what? The lemon is a natural. I haven't seen it to be a hybrid. You know, I need to do a little research on that because I was not aware. I thought it was a real thing. But let me check into that, family, and get back with you, because lemon is, well, and so is lime. Lime is something you want to look at as well, because you know what? It might be because it's something called citron. And the citron comes from this Africa, of course. And during that time, where the Hebrews were coming through, they used a citron, and it's a leaf where they waved it, one of the citron leaves that they waved. But it's one of the fruit that they say is one of the best fruit. And if you ever smell citron, oh my king, citron is wonderful. It makes you like sing. It makes you want to do one of those things. And when I gave it to Mr. the very first time, he was like, put whatever in, everything we're going to drink with a little bit of that, but we can't do that. But he was like, he wanted that, but that's a citron. Citron is wonderful. So it might be part of that family. So we'll check and see. So, family, thank you for bringing those questions for me, because you know what? I get to think about these things. But go ahead, baby. You had one more, and that was it.
Just saying that lime is pure, citron is not.
Okay. Citron is not?
That's what she's saying, but we'll do some research on that.
Because citron is spoken of in the scriptures. Citron is spoken of in the scriptures, but let me recheck that. And let me see. Search Tobias, check that. Put in CITRON. That would be something real quick.
I'm sorry, I already knew you.
What they say?
Somebody asked if there are any health benefits to eating chicken.
No. No health benefits. They say you can eat. Now today, it used to be a certain time, family. Ask Mister, he'll say it's wonderful health benefits. But
You say that.
there's a lot of other proteins out there that you can eat beside chicken. So some people say that you can use it for broth. If you're raising it, if you got an organic, if you got a natural, and the where you got the egg from, your grandmama had that same chicken,
Right.
and that genetics have been pulled back down from that time, might be then. But you know, they send these chickens out to China to be processed. So you all have to remember that. They send those chickens out to be processed, and then they bring it back into the U.S. When they send it back to the U.S., it's already processed and all that. So they pump those with a lot of other toxins, dirty water and all that kind of stuff. They pump it in, and different hormones. That's why when you see your baby, your children growing, and they have the
hormones in food.
Exactly.
I was told that some years ago.
Exactly.
Ooh.
You see, family, you know what? We want to eat as close to.
She said Tobias. I said citron is not lemon. Okay. How about this citron?
Okay. Yeah, it's not lemon. It's not a lemon. But it is a citrus. It's part of that citrus family. And citron, it's CITRON. Citron was, Tobias, look that up real quick. Citrus, CITRON. And it's spelled CITRON. And it's from the citrus, because family, there's so many different types of citruses out there. Like oranges are citrus, lemons, limes, different other things. You would say, is it a citrus? Yeah, the different things are because of the base it is. It's a citrus type of plant. But citrus was first spoken of in the scriptures when they talked of citron, CITRON. And I think it's Hebrew. And it was during that time that they spoke of it in the scriptures. Because I remember citron, part of my notes, and it was citron is in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures, family. So I'm sorry. So if you look that up, you'll see it in there. But I'll bring some more information. I'll post it. I'll put it on my post, because I'm going to be bringing some more in so that you guys can see some of the things that the Bible talks about, different herbs and spices in the Bible. Oh, by the way, as you noticed, we were talking about mint, and this is mint in the scriptures. Matthew
23:23, and 1 Kings 11:42 talk about mint in the scriptures. So also, and the deal with us, but I didn't want to go all the way back, but for those who were saying, well, where is it? You know, you were talking about it, here is the cinnamon, and it's spoken of in Revelations 11:13, Revelation 18:11-13. And you can see the other places where the scriptures talk about cinnamon in the scriptures and the health benefits of it. Remember I was telling you, and then, and I'll go back to what I was saying. I love these different chases. You all have the different chases here and chases there. I love that. I love that, you know. But remember, family, I was telling you all about the different things about when and you all can find this too. What they say, they laugh at it.
Brother Theo, we're talking about tell him I need some more rose hip.
What's more rose hip? Rose hip, family, is vitamin C. Energy. Vitamin C in the wintertime, in the summertime, it cleanses you out. Vitamin C makes you happy. It gives you that energy. Vitamin C, and I told you all the things that vitamin C does for the body, and we love that vitamin C. So anyway, hallelujah. Got you. I got you, Theo. This email will try to bring me some Shabbat. But family, women, we've been texting these things. If you all look at EMA's Health Corner, and I was telling you all about the ancient women's garden parties, where they would go through the garden parties. It's for women, but we also know that Solomon had, and all these, was it Solomon and David, had wonderful gardens. Immaculate gardens, family. So remember, if you all look back at one of the two classes before, where we talked about the beautiful gardens and all the wonderful, miraculous things in King Solomon's and David's gardens. But they also had it as the women had women's gardens, and they would go through a particular time of the month, and they would last days, where they would go in and pick different herbs that were good for the body, that were good for pain. This is what the women would do. And they would pick for pain and different menstrual cycles and things like that. So ladies, if you'll go in for those different comments, it'll tell you about different things that we're talking about for the 9 menstrual cycle symptoms. We finished that. And so now we're in for the home remedies, for the different home remedies for women's cycles to help with pain, back pain, cramps, inflammation, and right on down the line. So please be at liberty to look at some of those things you're about to say.
Oh, fine. I gotta take off.
Okay, so family, here's another thing. I just wanted you all to be aware. Now we said, and also family, not only did, when we were talking about babies, not only is it good for pain, but it gets rid of anxieties and cramps and stuff like that. So remember, take a picture so that you all see what the baby is, what it fights, and right on down the line, and you get some remote. And listen, parsley. Do you know you make some parsley tea and it gets rid of pain too? Pain, no pain. Pain be gone. Make some parsley, and it detoxes the body, and it helps the body, the muscles to relax. So it helps with that way. I was sharing something about with some of the young people that were saying that when they do their little run, and how after they do their little run, what can you drink? You can do some refreshing, cool parsley. Of course, strain it off, and you could make like a little cool parsley tea and put a little lemon in, or thyme will get rid of pain too. And you can make, like, after you finish a run and you're doing all these things and you have this stress on the body, drinking parsley, make some parsley tea or some thyme tea. This gets rid of some of the pain and the inflammation off of the body. You could drink it cold or hot, and it gets rid of the pain. So those are just some little tips about pain. And like I said, a lot of herbs, family, you can do a lot of herbs and it gets rid of pain, and it's fantabulous. You don't have to go to don't do the with these other little stuff that you have to pay for. All this, just go get you some herbs, and they help with pain and stress and anxieties. Also, vitamin D, like I was saying, will help with that. So I just want to thank you guys for all the questions. We still have to go through the A's, all the A's. I can tell you all, the A's, A vitamin, and all the other A's that come with air. Remember, don't forget to breathe. Family, don't forget to breathe in the morning. This EMA loves you. So when you think about me and Yeshua HaMashiach, breathe. There's EMA. She's telling us about parsley. There's EMA talking about cilantro again. Go for it, baby. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And don't forget your water. You have to take your water. And remember, before I do, let me tell you this. Remember, I was telling you all about all the things that's good for the breast, women. Brother Tobias is closing his ears when I tell you about the breast part. It's good for what's good for the breast. Do that burdock tea. Do your dandelion tea. It's good for that. And it gets rid of fibroids. Believe it or not, fibroids have not a chance when you have that coming through your burdock tea, your dandelion tea. It goes through the fibers. And if you can imagine, here it is, that little cell coming through with its little bucket, taking the burdock and the dandelion tea and taking those enzymes, taking it to all parts of the body where it's used, and knocking on that door saying, can I come in? Can you use me today? That's what they're doing. And that once you use all that, then it's gonna open the door. I'm back. You need more? Open the door for it. Burdock, dandelion are really wonderful for the body. I think I showed you, if you look at the one prior to that, what the root looks like. I like to take my root itself and boil it, skin it, boil it, cut it up. Sometimes just cut it up and put it and make my own little tea from the roots. It's wonderful for the body and all the things that it does for the female areas, and including it's helpful for the pain. Oh, dandelion tea, burdock makes you forget about the pain and gives you that energy to go on. So family, this is EMA Barb, who thinks you are fantabulously wonderful. I thank the Creator for making us women. There's a prayer that says, blessed be you, Master Eternal, Creator forever, who made me in your image. The Father made us well, finely tuned instruments he made us to be. And what we could do is help the Father. And I used to tell our son when he was little, help me help you. Help me help you. Remember what I told you. Help me help you. So family, my loves, help me help you to enhance your life. So since you're on this earth, might as well feel better while you're here. Might as well not go through all that pain while you're here. Might as well just, and I say this, in your land and your pocket of Goshen, where you are, let healing and health flourish. We're already understanding the Torah. We're already understanding his commandments. He's opening our eyes more and more and more to who we are. So let's allow our bodies to acclimate in healing, health, wholeness, and soundness. He loves us and has called us for this purpose and this time. We can fulfill the mission if we obey. Let's start obeying with the leaves of the field, the healing of the nations. Let the leaves of the field and the healing of the nations be your tool to make you stronger and better than what you could ever imagine. The Father loves you. He's called you for this purpose and time. This is EMA. Let's pray. Father, Creator eternal, Master forever, thank you for this time and this season. Thank you for the leaves of the field. Thank you for all that you made us according to your purpose and your plan. Thank you, Creator, for healing my family, calling us for this time. As our eyes open more and more and more, strengthen our arms, our hands, strengthen our hands and our muscles that we can fulfill what you called us to do for this particular time and season. Amen.